Hi guys, I'm Patrick, and today I'm going to teach you how to save data into the core data database. So first, to do that, we need to set up some bases. So first we need to add a table view, because it's what this whole program is all about, the context. So we need a table view, just a plain simple table view, not very beautiful, but it will suit our needs. Then we need a navigation bar on the top. Well, that didn't work out. Well, okay, so we need the navigation bar on the top, which is going to have a button. Which is going to be add. Okay, so it will just name this contacts and place a table view under here. Let's put some constraints, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that we have our contacts saved. So how do we save them? First, let's create this button action. Right click, drag. It's going to be action, add contact. So how are we going to add a contact? Well, we are going to present an alert controller, which is going to give us an ability to enter any name of the contact we want. So let's create an alert controller, which is going to be UI alert controller, with a title of new contact, enter name of new contact, enter the name, let's make it beautiful, enter the name of a person you want to add to your contacts, and the style is going to be alert. Okay, so now we have created it, but what we need to do is create an action that is going to be saving the contacts. So let's create save action, which is UI alert action. Title is going to be save, style is going to be default, and the handler is going to have is going to have just an alert, returns nothing in this block of code. So what is this going to print? We are going to print adding someone. That someone is going to be that alert dot text fields, alert controller text fields. Okay, and it's going to have text fields 0 dot text from that text field, and we need to put an exclamation mark because it's not unwrapped. Okay, so what is this doing? We're getting the first text field from alert controller and printing its text. That's all we are doing. Very simple. Now let's add that action to the alert controller. Add action, save action. Now let's also add the actual text field. So it has a nice function, add text field. As simple as that. And the configuration handler, just text field. Text field returns nothing. Okay, and because we declared the type, we need to put this like this. Okay, now simply what we need to do here is configure that text field. How are we going to configure it? We are going to set a placeholder for it. That placeholder is equal to person's name, or actually contact name. And now if we run because okay, what is this? Produces a bug description, nothing. Okay, but we also need to have one thing. We need to present the text field. Present, and we need to present the alert controller. Animated true and completion nothing. So now if we run it, we should get the normal. We should get the alert controller, which is actually the alert view, just to show us the text field which we can enter the text. And when we enter the text and say save, we are going to have this printed out, adding that person. Okay, let's try it out. When we click the plus, contact name, let's say it's called Patrick, with capital P, save. Adding optional Patrick. Optional is there because it's an optional, but it works, that's the most important thing. But we need to create another function, save contact name string. Okay, so now instead of doing this, we're going to do just self.save contact, and the name is going to be text. Well, just copy, cut, paste this piece of code. Okay, so now what we have here, we have a save contact. This is not unwrapped. Unwrap it as it should be. Okay, so now we have a function that is being called, that is simply just calling save this contact with this name. So how do we save the contact into core data? Here is the fun part. So first what we need to do, okay, so first what we need to do is get the app delegate. To do that, we just go UI application .shared .delegate. That's it. Then we get the managed contacts. Managed context, which belongs to the app delegate. Come on, oh, what I need to do as app delegate dot persistent container dot view context. Okay, so if we go here, we can see that here is the save context persistent container. It's here. So managed context is basically the class that is going to help us save all the data. It's going to be the one that's saving it. Now we need to create the entity, and if you remember, here we have an entity, but we have to create an entity so we can save data in it. So we need to like load it in some sort. So what we do is create, as we see, it's called personal, so let's call it person here. Person is the NS entity. We need to import the core data for this, because remember, this is core data. NS entity description dot entity for entity name person in managed context. I said it right this time. Let's call it person entity. And now we can actually create a person that we are going to insert into the database. You can imagine this. So imagine the managed context as a whole, like Excel file. Then person entity, imagine as one table inside the Excel or numbers. And this person, which is going to be just the NS managed object, imagine it as just one row inside the table. So NS managed object, which is going to be person entity in the managed context. Okay, now we have to set, okay, this has to be, okay, now error, okay, now we have to set the values for that row inside the table. So person dot, so we have like a name, we can do a name, person dot set value, name for key, name, and other stuff we're going to leave empty for now, other columns for key. Okay, no error. Now what we do, because this is something that has an exception, we have to do catch error, just simple error, and then we print it like couldn't save error. What you also can print is the user info. That's also a cool thing to do. Now what we want to do is try to do managed context dot save. So what have we done here? We got the app delegate, which is like the computer. Then we have the managed context, which is like a numbers table or an Excel, not table, but the Excel file or a numbers file, which contains all the tables and all the stuff. Then the person entity is that table, so we are getting that table or that entity, like it's called in the Xcode. Then we create a person, which is a new row inside the person entity or inside that entity or table. Then we set the values for that row, and then we save everything by calling the manage contexts.save or saving that file. And that's as simple as that. Now let's run it and see it working. Well, we are not going to see it working because we are just saving, not loading, but we're going to see that no errors are thrown. This is not throwing any errors. So now if you try to save, let's take that script. And also one cool thing, what you have here is that you can simulate the keyboard. So toggle software keyboard. So we can toggle it by Command K. So now we save and nothing happens, and that's exactly what we want because it's not throwing any errors. And yeah guys, that would be it from this one. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.